I want to welcome everybody to the call. You should see a slide screen about outline focus. We have a very special guest with us today, Matt Zimmerman. Matt is the creator of Zimmwriter, which we consider one of the best AI writing tools on the market today. And he came out with a version release, version 8, and it's going to really change the game of AI writing and scalability of his tools. What we're going to be doing today is we're going to split the call up. So Matt's going to talk a little bit about version 8 and more specifically is how it applies to bulk writing, and the tool that we're going to be using is the outline focus along with our own tool. And I'll take over the call midway through, and we're going to be talking about title prompting. How does title prompting work with outline focus, work with bulk writer, and give you abilities to do outside of the box thinking? Very excited about this. We have been working with Matt for 2 months or longer on how to elevate the prompt in the bulk writer to give you more detail, more quality content. With that said, Wayne's going to be answering tickets or chat. And if there's anything that Wayne sees that could help the conversation along, he will interrupt us. Otherwise, we'll try to catch the questions at the end. If all that sounds good, let's get started with this. Matt, welcome to the call. I'm going to let you drive and I'll handle the slides for you.
Okay. Well, thanks. Yeah, you tell me if I've talked too much, okay?
Okay.
I don't know how long you want me to talk for.
Well, until you see my picture on the slides.
Okay, that works for me.
Okay.
Yeah, so version 8 is a big version for us because Zimmwriter, I'm not trying to develop the tool to compete with the competition. I'm developing the tool to be something that I would want to use, And so there have been some features I think that have been lacking, and one of those was like an integrated WordPress upload feature, and maybe some automated images that would be pulled through an API. So we brought that in. We're kind of bringing Zimmwriter up to it's already beyond a lot of the competition in some areas, but now we're kind of giving it that extra push to really kind of bring it up there. So we have integrated WordPress uploads now. We have Pexels integration. So if you sign up for a free Pexels account, you get 25,000 images a month. And some of them are hit or miss, but those can be great featured images if you're just cranking out a lot of blog posts. And then there's Scraping Surgeon, which is a very powerful, but a semi-complicated way to surgically scrape content from a web page and get that into Zimmwriter to better manipulate it, because it's going to be more focused. You're going to filter out all that extraneous information. So there's been a lot of really cool things. And now we even have a bulk SEO, the CSV, comma separated file upload capability inside of Zimmwriter. So there's been a lot of changes, a lot of improvements that really are carving out quite a large niche for Zimmwriter in the AI writing world. And so one of them is this outline focus feature. And before we developed this, I know you were advocating kind of using this, let's call it a workaround.
Yes.
Inside of not a hack, a workaround inside of the bulk title box, where you could put the title in, in the bulk title box, you can put it up to like 1,000 different titles in for your article. And then you'd put like a space and then some, what do you call those things? So at symbols, the little curly
the ampersand or at symbols.
Yeah, you'd put 2 of those in, and then you'd put some text that you wanted the AI to kind of follow as it wrote. And I didn't do a lot of testing of that, but it was unsupported. So sometimes the results were hit or miss. So right. I knew that there was a desire for something there, something more quote unquote official, because if you do something unofficial in Zimmwriter, there's no guarantee it's going to work in the next update. So outline focus allows us to really do some amazing stuff with I'd call it the outline generation of the article. There's, I got to take a step back and say there's a lot of different words or phrases where we use the word outline inside of Zimmwriter. And it's easy to get them all mishmashed and confused. There's the normal outline that you would just put into the SEO writer. There's a normal outline that you could put into the bulk CSV if you're doing bulk SEO stuff. And then there's a custom outline, which is It's designed for situations where you have like repeated templates, so to speak. Maybe you're doing 50 different recipe posts or 50 different Amazon reviews. Well, in those situations, you're going to have the same format for the same outline for all of those different titles. And so that's where you can use the custom outline. Now, there's another feature that we've built here called outline focus, and it's different from all of those. So kind of think of outline focus as a feature that's sitting in between one end, which is just letting the AI completely come up with the outline all by itself, and then giving the AI a very bespoke custom outline. So outline focus kind of sits in the middle, and you'd only use one. You'd either have the AI come up with the outline all by itself, you'd use outline focus to kind of guide the AI, or you'd give it that very bespoke outline, that done for you outline, or maybe you'd use custom outline. So you'd only pick one of those modes. Outline focus is a way for you to hint to the AI or give the AI some direction, some focus, I like to call it, on what you want the article to talk about. So as an example, let's say we're going to talk about how to get more backlinks. Okay. There's lots of ways to get more backlinks. All right. You've got the perfect slide up here. If you're not familiar with Haro, it's called Help a Reporter Out. And I guess pre-AI, it was much easier to get backlinks using Haro because probably a lot of people weren't filling those responses out, but now it's kind of been automated. But Haro is a great way where you can fill out queries by reporters. You email the reporters and you fill out the queries, and maybe they'll choose your response, put into their article, and they'll link back to your website. Some people will say that you can get backlinks from Wikipedia. Now there's different sides of the coin here, but that's an option to discuss. Shotgun skyscraper, that's another coined term known in the industry, and also paid links. Now there's all kinds of other ways to get backlinks too. You can get backlinks through social media. You can get backlinks through just general outreach. You can get backlinks through email correspondence and things like that. But maybe for your article, you want to hit on these particular points. All right. Normally, the AI would not do that. The AI would just come up with its own, unless you're giving it a very bespoke outline, and you just let the AI kind of do its thing, who knows what you'd get? You'd probably get the generic stuff, outreach, social media, stuff like that. But if you want to give the AI some direction without spending all of the time creating that completely bespoke outline, you can use outline focus. And so we have our title here, How to Get More Backlinks. And then we'll put these curly brackets in. And the curly brackets is going to enclose everything here. Going to have outline _ focus, and then an equal sign. And then you can kind of free form what you want the AI to write about. But I want to put a little caveat here. This is only used for the generation of the outline. After the AI uses this to create that outline, then this is no longer used. So we're not putting, make sure to use these particular keywords as you discuss the article, make it short and sweet and all this stuff. That won't help you because, again, this outline focus is just for giving direction to the AI about how to generate your outline, your H2s for your particular article. I'm trying to think right now. It won't affect H3s directly. So it will generate your H2s. And then any H3s that you have, like if you're using like Auto H3 or something like that, will just be automatically generated based on whatever that H2 is. So this is kind of helping you for that, giving that focus to the AI for those H2s. So I hope that makes sense. Let's see. So H2 output, the power to help a reporter out. So this is something that you might get from a generation using outline focus for that particular title. All right. This is just an example. Now, it's not guaranteed that everything you put into that outline focus section is going to show up, but it is a much better chance of it showing up. Like I can almost guarantee you, if you don't put help a reporter out or Haro, you're not going to get that as an H2 title or an H2 outline element. So this is extremely powerful to give that AI direction without expending a lot of time, because creating those custom outlines can take a lot of time. So this is, again, a way to go faster without burning a lot of your resources.
Yeah, and I want to add to this is, what if you had the same keyword Maybe you wrote it in a different title, how to get more backlinks. And what if your next one in the bulk writer would be backlink strategies? Well, you don't want to use these all over again. Why not just copy this and then maybe it's guest posts? It could be a new list in here. So you could reuse the same keyword, rewriting, or maybe, rewriting the title a little bit, but rewriting the outline focus. So now you have a different article with different emphasis in different H2s in there. And this is the power of using this outline focus is you don't have to put everything in there all for one keyword. Use that keyword, multiply that keyword effect, and use different inputs into this outline focus.
Mm-hmm. And what's really powerful too, Google just released some, I forget where it was, but they released yesterday or a couple days ago some more guidance on helpful content. And there's a couple interesting things in there. One was the determination on whether or not content's and I'll show you where I'm going with this. The determination of whether or not content is helpful is an automated process. Okay, it's not a manual process. So Google has some kind of algorithm that's going to determine whether or not your content's helpful. And if you have too much unhelpful content on your website, you're not going to rank. So if we think about it for a second, and helpful, you got to remember, helpful doesn't mean helpful to you. It means helpful in Google's eyes. And in Google's eyes, they're trying to define helpful as something that, answers the search intent comprehensively, is on point, and, some other factors in there. But the importance is, if you just have generic things in your outline, all right, that everybody has, maybe it's not that helpful. But by putting some of these more specific elements into our outline, either through outline focus or through creating a totally bespoke outline in Zimmwriter, in a way, we're kind of being a little bit more helpful. I mean, we can say, use outreach to get more backlinks, and we can, write 2 paragraphs on that. But if we talk about Haro and we use, some language specific to that, and a lot of the other competition is not, Google might think, because Google knows what Haro is, they might think, this actually seems pretty helpful. Now, again, I don't know what their algorithms are, but this is a great way to be less generic when you're using the AI. When everybody else is being generic, you can be a little bit more unique and a little bit more helpful.
And I want to add to that. You sent me a while back a example, and it was a great example and opened up my mind on a lot of different things. Is what if your keyword was great travel destinations, Japan? And if you use other tools around there, they're going to give you some generic information. What a person is searching for when they want to know travel destinations in Japan is cities and destination points. It could be national parks, it could be cities, it could be whatever. But if you list those in Zimmwriter, in the bulk writer, it will actually do a really good job of talking about the city or talking about the national park or whatever the content is that you're passing it. It was a brilliant suggestion of how to use it. Don't think in terms of SEO, NLP content wrapped around travel in Japan. Think of it as, how do you answer a question? You give it specific examples. And that's where I think using this combination that we're going to show you today, it takes the bulk writer into a completely different zone as far as writing content.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think, you almost have to put yourself, and there's all kinds of users for AI, for Zimmwriter, and also AI content. Some users will just queue up 5,000 articles and then write them all and publish them all and then just go about their day, and they might rank, they might not, they might get hit by Google, they might not, But if you truly want to create something that's helpful and that potentially is going to stick around in Google's eyes, then you need to effectively answer that search intent, and you almost have to put yourself in the shoes of a user. Okay, pretend I'm writing an article about the best travel destinations in Japan. Okay, great. Let's pretend I'm actually going to Japan and figure out what would those places be. Be the picky shopper. be the choosy individual. When I go to the store to get toothpaste, I have such a hard time because there's like 50 different types. I'm like, I don't want cavities and I want white teeth, but there's like 50 different options. So you have to be that choosy shopper, that choosy individual for your reader. And if you can answer that query better than everybody else, and almost to satisfy your own opinion, if you were in the reader's shoes, then you're probably on a right track to having helpful and authoritative content.
And if you're building a blog and all it is just going to be a blog and maybe an affiliate blog, you want your content to be informational, not transactional. Transactional is where you're showing product, you got a sales funnel, you're trying to lead them down a path. Informational is the top of the funnel search. It's what people are looking for, what's on their mind, what the questions are they're asking. We're going to talk about it in a few minutes, is think of gossip magazines. They're right at the checkout counter. The questions that are on people's mind about celebrities are right on the front cover. And there's a reason for it. That's what people are searching for, information, their curiosity factor. And that's what I believe what Bulk Writer can give you is, if you're going to queue it up with 100 articles, queue it up with what people are asking, what is in their mindset at that point. Not necessarily how do you SEO it around a certain keyword. It's how do you answer a question? How do you answer a top 10? How do you do something? Or what's a list? So we're going to be talking about that in just 1 second. Matt, I guess my question and kind of the slide here is what you've given us beyond just the SEO writer, the ability to tune bulk writer content with all the toggles and switches and everything. And I want to address that whenever we get to that point and maybe pass the key back to you. I have to compliment you. I mean, every version upgrade you go, oh man, he's figured it out. And then the next month, oh man, he's figured it out again.
Well, I appreciate that. It's fun. It's fun building this stuff. I wouldn't want to be anywhere else. Some people are like, why don't you get some more developers to build this stuff? And developers are not cheap to begin with.
No.
But this is just fun. Like it's hard to not get sucked into that feature request void where everybody is just requesting stuff and you're in this constant build, and you can't even breathe. I try to make sure I'm taking a step back and enjoying what we're making here as a community, taking your feedback, building. I mean, this outline focus thing, this came about because you saw a need in your community. And, and I started to hear more about that and pay attention to it. And then I was like, this is something that's probably important. And so the community, I mean, this is a community feature right here. So I have to don't just thank me, thank the community.
Yep. And you can tell too, I mean, by the group questions is people are using your tool. It's not just a shiny object and they're moving on to something else. And we're a user of your tool. Is with my VA, Wayne and I, we're cranking 100 to 200 articles a day through the bulk writer using our tool and your tool together. And it's amazing the content that we're getting out. It keeps improving with each version. But with this outline focus is we've got it dialed in to exactly what we want to answer based on the title, a really nice featured image, and then we answer the questions in there.
Sure, it's costing you a couple pennies per article, right?
I would. Now, granted, we use 3.5 in mass. I use 4 for a more narrowed focus that is a higher quality content, and we're blending them all together. There's certain times that you can use 3.5 to answer generic questions. But if you want a detailed question about the cities in Japan to visit and why you need to visit them, 4 works a lot better than 3.5.
Yeah, I can understand. And a lot of people are, they'll just choose one and they'll stick with that for everything. But you really have to categorize your articles and say, okay, this is the stuff with either very, very low search volume, probably, not that important, but it's important to build topical authority. And so I'm going to create articles on it, but I'm going to use Turbo, but then here are my more important, my more competitive articles or keywords, things I want to build pillars around. And so I'm going to use 4 or DaVinci or something a little bit more expensive, but also a little bit better in some situations.
Yep. And you really still you got to step back and you got to compare. If you paid a blog writer, and this is the olden days, 12 months ago, you'd pay him $50 to $100 to write the quality content that we're getting out of GPT-4 through bulk writer that cost us 55 cents.
Yeah.
So I compare 55 cents to $50, and it's, that's dirt cheap.
Oh,
But
yeah.
I'll give you a great example of when to use 3.5 versus 4. For my Japan example, I would use 4. How to repair a leaky faucet, 3.5 is perfect. There is so much information about how to repair a leaky faucet that it's step-by-step guides everywhere. So 3.5 knows this information. So something that information is so commonly spread about how to fix things or how to do things, 3.5 is a great tool to use.
Yeah, I agree.
Talk a little bit about the scalability of this, and I'll let you speak over me here, but the scalability is the ability to go from 1 to 100. Instead of writing one SEO article using your tool, we prefer to do 100 really good articles, is what we're going to call them, using your bulk writer tool. And it gives us depth in the sites that we're building out. And my assignment to my VA, in fact, if you had my Trello board up, I've got a whole bunch of WordPress sites, and each WordPress site has anywhere from 5 to 8 categories. My VA is writing 30 articles per category per website. So if it's a 5-category website, he's writing 150 articles. That's why we need a scalability, is we're building a lot of sites, but we want good content. And so he'll build with 3.5, and then I'm going to come in and build 10 to 15 articles for that site using 4, but they're going to be very specific in what we're answering, or the keyword cluster set that we're using. They give great content. And I think Matt and I both saw that using this outline focus, the way that we were kind of doing a workaround early on, is it made it really easy to tune up. Instead of just sending a really great title from a copywriter, is we're sending a great title with instructions on what to put in that article. Matt, just what would you say to these topics here?
Yeah, I mean, you talked about depth, and depth is important for two things. From an SEO perspective, you need to have depth so that Google feels you're covering the topic to its satisfaction. But I've also found, based on thousands of hours of prompting, that the AI it's almost like your brain when you get older. I can't tell you about all the memories I have, but then if you were to say, "Hey, remember that one time that this thing happened?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, that I remember that. I can recall that." The AI is kind of the same way. The AI has these connections that are stronger, how to repair a leaky faucet, and a little bit weaker, how to best places to visit in Tokyo or something like that. And obviously there's models that are larger and smaller, but even the smaller models have some weaker connections of hidden pockets of information. And I think this outline focus, or just giving some guidance to the AI aside from just a title, can help unlock those hidden pockets of information. Now, of course, you're not going to get ultimate depth if we said, hey, to the AI, write about what Zimmwriter is or something like that. It wouldn't know. So we're not inventing things, but we're simply making those connections stronger. We're telling the AI, hey, remember this? Why don't you tell me what you know about this? As opposed to saying, hey, write a couple different points, H2s, about this particular topic. Now we're saying, hey, remember these 3 things? Remember Haro? Yeah, why don't you talk about that? Remember paid links? Why don't you talk about that? And that will effectively, in some situations, unlock the hidden power, the hidden knowledge that you don't normally see with unprompted AI.
I'm going to take it one step further here. I'm going to move to the next slide.
I'm good. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So what do you put in the outline focus? What do you put in the title? And that's what we came up with, and maybe I'm borrowing this from somebody else, but with title prompts. not only are you putting a title, but you're prompting AI to write in a specific format or include these specific topics. So that's kind of the title prompting is what we're going to show you today that can fit right smack into the bulk writer with the copy paste. So what are they? Well, it is the title and written by a copywriter. So it's not just tell me about backlinks. That's not the topic. It's a copywritten title, and then we're combining it with very specific outline focus prompts that match up to your intent of the article. There's a third factor in not just the title, not just the prompts, but what is your intent for this article in general? And that's what we're going to talk about and what I'm going to show you, okay? We're going to talk about keyword clusters. I'm not talking about NLP structures that you would pull off of Surfer or ScaleNut or NeuronWriter, where it's tightly packed keywords around a single topic. What we're talking about are keyword clusters. It's subtopics that we're going to put into the outline focus. They're related, but they're not the exact same keyword. Okay, so they're focused on the title and they're focused on that main topic. And I'm going to go into more detail in a second on this. They're steps, step 1, step 2, step 3. They're items, maybe on a listicle, or they're answers to that one big question. They're secondary thoughts. People want to know how the best places in Japan to visit, but really what they're after is where do I need to book my airfare? Do I need to go straight into Tokyo or can I go somewhere else? These are the secondary thoughts or ideas that you want to include into the article. This is something that you can't really get off of. You could build it out of Surfer or Writer's In or something on a keyword cluster, but it's not going to cluster it under a word to make it simple. You have to kind of fit it all together. So we thought, well, let AI fit it all together. It's got to add to the conversation in somebody's head, and that's all we're talking about. When they're doing informational searches, they have a lot of questions rolling around. They have a main question that they're going to start their search with, but you kind of want to answer the other questions, the conversations that's going on in their head. If you can answer it in one article, or maybe one article that's pillar post to other sub-articles, then they're going to stay on your site longer. They're going to they may take whatever action you're asking them to take, but they're going to find your site helpful. And that's what Google is looking for. So some of the indicators that Google's looking for: time on site, dwell time, how much are they scrolling down? Are they focused on one specific post, or are they jumping between different posts? So these are the indicators that are going back to Google to help them figure out, is your site helpful? Okay. What they are not is they're not tight NLP clusters that we're putting into the outline focus. So keep that in mind. There's a time and place for Surfer, NeuronWriter, Writer's In, all these keyword cluster tools. It's not the time that we're starting with the bulk writer, okay? Now, this is my favorite. Google's most popular information searches. Remember, I talked a little bit about what is at the checkout stand at the grocery store. Celebrity gossip magazines. So if you look at titles, they're question titles. Here's one: 42 best and worst beach bodies. That's a listicle. Inside her prison hell, that's more of a question. The man who came between. So these are statements that really cause your mind to go, what is the relationship between these two people? Okay, so you're forming a question. This is a trick that's been used since they started printing on paper, okay? These are informational gossip. So why don't we turn the bulk writer into a listicle maker? And you can do that. What if we turned it into a how-to maker from a single keyword? What if we made it into a top 10 or one big question? And we even have Ogilvy. David Ogilvy is one of the most famous copywriters. He's the model for Mad Men, Don Draper. What if we let him write the title and then we put related topics underneath that title? So it's focused around the title instead of maybe a main keyword somewhere, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how we're going to do it, okay? We call it title prompts. And the title prompts were made to go into the bulk writer. I guess it is getting close to demo time. Matt, you ready to demo some products here?
Oh, sure. I don't know how I'm going to do that, but okay.
Well, I'm going to demo the products. This is the time you could talk over me, but we're going to start off with the title prompt maker inside of a tool that we have built.
Yeah, I haven't played with Keyword Masher before. I heard a lot about it, but I haven't played with it.
It's one of the fun tools that we have. Now, guys, we're making a product called AI Masher. It is a content publisher, first and foremost. It is not available for sale. We have a beta team out on it, but the two products that are available right now are Keyword Masher and Niche Ideas. We built most of this because we are publishing very quickly the content taken out of BulkWriter. So we needed a tool. This is the tool. We're going to have some other things in there with Midjourney that will come out in a few weeks. Today, what we're going to talk about is Keyword Masher. Let's talk about how we can mash things up. So we've got, and I'll use the 3 keywords here. I'm going to do a big question, okay? I'm using GPT-4. Now, we don't have a lot of transactional tokens back and forth, so it's not that expensive to use GPT-4 in this scenario. Okay, now I'm going to bring over some niche ideas. I've got some websites I'm building out, and I'm using a tool inside with Keyword Masher. It is called Niche Ideas. So these two are going to be part of the Keyword Masher offer. Niche Discovery. We got 2 options in the niche discovery, and I'm just going to pull up 5 items here. I've got a site that we're doing on digital nomads and working vacation. I'm just going to do this niche discovery. I'm going to do working vacations. My site is stayonvacation.com. We're building it, brand new site. These are some ideas that I was just kind of thinking of, but I went over how I got these ideas. I went over here, put in here working vacations, niche discovery. I'm looking for categories. I'm looking for keyword topics that I can send to BulkWriter to write some really good content for me. And this takes about 20 seconds to come across. Okay, so we have 3 lists just in the discovery. Now you can bump this list. If you want 30 at a time, you can do that, and it may take a couple of minutes. We're going to do this niche markets, digital nomad lifestyles, work and travel programs, working holidays for retirees. That's a good one. Co-working spaces worldwide. These are questions that people, they start off with, in my mind, I'm thinking, I'm going to do a working vacation. But what they really are after is, where can I work? Do they have work and travel programs? What I really want is the work-life balance. These are questions, related terms. We even got trending questions. So what's the best way to maintain work-life balance? We got this from working vacations. 1 keyword, we're developing out that keyword. I expanded that and I went to 20. So I got some ideas that we've been playing with: backpack vacations, great hikes around the world, culinary journeys. This is something I wouldn't have ever thought of, but there are vacations that are based around cooking and adventure travel. There's another one, inspired health. I have a new website called inspiredhealthmag.com. I didn't know what to put in there, so I just typed in inspired health, put it in our niche discovery, came up with mind-body connections, non-toxic living. That's an interesting topic. Prevention over prescription, energizing. BulkWriter's going to kind of help me with anti-inflammatory foods from Inspired Health, fitness and mindfulness. So you can kind of see there's some great ideas. Online gaming. I got an online gaming website I'm building out. Mobile MMO. I looked here, I figured out what MMO stood for, but educational online games for children. This is a great topic to write about, because what we want is not a bunch of fluff about it's great for children to learn about online gaming. We want the games. What games do you recommend, OpenAI? Virtual reality multiplayer games. What games are out there? We're going to explore with these topics, and we're going to go back into, let's do culinary journeys, okay? Come back here to Keyword Masher. What we do on Keyword Masher, you can input your keywords individually if you want. You put the keywords, you put your sub keywords, comma separated, hit add to results, and then just start stacking results in here. Then you come down, and what do you want to do with the results? So we have prompt groups. We talked about how-tos, listicles, big questions, things that people are being asked. Again, we're going to use in our GPT-4 and convert keywords directly into a title prompt for Zimmwriter. But let's take a look. We have the 1 big question, how-tos, listicles, the Ogilvy. the top 10 headings. So I've done a few of these. What we do is we send the keyword and the sub keywords over to this prompt set, and we convert it into keywords top 10 headings plus outline focus. Top 10 health benefits of a vegan diet. We did a really great copywriter title, The Green Revolution, Top 10 Health Benefits Adopting a Vegan Diet. Sounds a lot better than this one. We kind of tuned it up. Then our outline focus is we took these subtopics and we're going to write based on this outline focus. In this particular prompt set, we're going to be using just the sub keywords. We don't need a further description on that. Now, if you get in here and you go, well, I don't really like kidney function support, you can change it. So kidney, I'll just take that out, click off of it, and it saved it. Okay, so you can still tune it up before you send it to BulkWriter. Okay. Now, if you want to send it to BulkWriter, right now I've got 30 items in here. I can copy all of them and send them over, but they're not all about vegan diets or weight loss. If I go over here to page 3, some are about cheat meal strategy, post-workout nutrition. In fact, this is a listicle. A listicle is a list of items. And Ogilvy was famous for making listicles in the 60s and 70s as topic for news articles and especially for magazine articles. So here's an example, 7 key elements of a post-workout nutrition. We're going to talk about outline, protein, carbs. And what we do is if we find more sub keywords than what we're doing, we just do a random number set in here. We're going to knock it down to 7. So there will only be 7 in the outline focus. We're going to put 8, even though we may have generated 10 over here. Okay. We're making this really set up for BulkWriter. If I don't want to copy the whole thing, I could just individually go select those 3 and copy through clipboard, and then we're ready to post directly into the BulkWriter. Let's start over from scratch. I'm going to delete all. I'm going to come back here. We're not going to do any manual work. We like to have AI automate everything. You can have multiple OpenAI keys. We're going to use GPT-4. I'm going to use 3 keywords. The reason I'm doing this is to just save time. Most of the time I'm running 10 at a time and building things. We're going to come over here, and our topic was culinary journeys. So let's make a listicle about culinary journeys. We're here, copy, and I'm going to call it Culinary Journeys Vacation, create keywords. Now this is going to take maybe 20 or 30 seconds. What we're trying to do is we're going to generate a keyword knowing that it's going to go with our intent is a listicle. So that's the third part of what we're trying to do. We need keywords, and then we need subtopics to go as a list item. Okay. Gourmet discoveries on getaways. That's an okay title. These aren't the final titles. Cuisine exploration during holidays. You got some ideas that we're talking about. Vacation food marvels. It's okay. I'm going to come down here. We're going to use Zimmwriter, GPT-4. And again, this is GPT-4 on our site right here. Has nothing to do with BulkWriter yet. Okay. Then we're going to go down to a list. Okay. We're going to hit execute. What we're doing is we're taking the keyword, the sub keywords, and we're going to make it into a list using a copywriter formatted structure for the keyword. And then we're going to put the sub keywords as subtopics in the outline focus. You can come over here, hit the refresh button. There we go. Top 7 unforgettable gourmet discoveries on getaways you must experience. These are topics that are going to go in there. 12 exciting gastronomic adventures for your holiday. Maybe you don't like gastronomic, and maybe you want to 12 exciting cooking adventures for your holiday. 7 must-try vacation food marvels. Again, you can change them if you want to seafood delights. Now, what I would do is I'd copy to clipboard, come over here to bulk. Matt, can you see the Zimmwriter tab?
Yeah.
Okay, BulkWriter. I'm going to drag that down, and we're going to put those 3 in here. Now, this is where, to me, the power comes in. I know I've got 7, 12, 7. I don't know how many headings I want. I'm just going to do 10, okay? This checkbox, I think you added it a version or two back. It's going to look at 7, 12, 7 in this listicle and adjust the number of H2s based on the number that I'm sending it. I want section length short. Again, you can choose whatever you want. This is just kind of how I set it up. Voice. I'm going to make it more first person because my cooking sites that I do are travel sites. I want to make it a blogger's opinion. Okay. I'm going to use first person most of the time on a blog opinion site. Enable literary devices. I do this all the time. I go ahead and put list in here. I skip tables. It is purely your choice on all of this. Absolutely. I'm going to do mid-journey prompts. I love that feature there. Key takeaways, probably not on this, not on a listicle. I'll use key takeaways when I'm just doing a SEO article. Enable T's, absolutely. That's a great one. H3s, yes. So if it starts breaking down an H2, and let's see, street food adventure, it may have several suggestions under H3. So it's going to look at that, kind of look at the title. It's a pretty neat little toggle right there. Facts, I'm always going to use this one, just my choice. Audience personality. I'm going to use probably this one, caregiver. Dealers call on that. Go to 4. Writing style. You can use writing style, or you can type in, let's see if I can get his name. It's Gordon Ramsay.
Yeah, I believe so.
What if we're going to let Gordon Ramsay write these articles? Okay. I would use this one over auto style. Guys, about 90% of my stuff, I'm just using auto style because I don't know who's the best keto author out there. But as far as cooking shows, and I know there's other writers that do travel cooking shows. Automatic keywords. I like using this one. I'm going to skip image API because we're using the mid-journey prompts. Detection is real. I'm going to skip that. I'm using 4. Skinny, active, disable. I'm going to go ahead and get a conclusion on this one. Enable progress bar, and I'm skipping H2s, okay? Then I hit start, and the start confirmation is going to come across. I want to make sure I'm looking at this, and it's saying that I have 3, and it's kind of reading everything. If you see something weird here, this is the time to back out. Don't start it if you see something weird. Maybe there's a comma misplaced or whatever, but all this looks good. It is ready to go. You got your title, you got your outline focus, and everything is ready. So you would start it, and I'm going to let it run. It won't take long. Confirm I want to proceed. Next question is, that's where it's going to go. Now I'm on another screen, but typically you're going to see it on your main screen. It's going to be the tracking telling you where you're at on everything. What I notice on these type of articles is going to take 2 to 5 minutes. I don't worry about it. Usually I set it up to run when I'm about to leave work. So I'll let it run overnight. Okay. So I'm just going to close that. I'm done. I'm ready to go. Now, in reality, you're probably building 10 keyword setups at a time to scale this thing up. You may have listicles, but culinary, I'm going to change this keyword set. Okay. And I don't have to close this out. I'm just going to do culinary vacation and the big question. This is the one I really like. So I'm going to use this one, the 3 keyword. These are starting with a question in the title, and then we have answers underneath, okay? Culinary vacation idea. These are what people, where do I want to go? Destination ideas. I'm helping the intent. We're going to do one big question. Remember, we're trying to get this on the cover of the celebrity gossip magazine or the food magazine at the checkout counter. What are the best countries for a culinary vacation? We're being very specific, and we're going to let Zimmwriter, bulk writers, AI, tell us why Thailand's in there. Tell us why Peru. I would have never thought Peru being in there, or Vietnam. Which cities offer the top food tours for travelers? Guys, this is very specific information. Barcelona, Marrakesh. I would have not put, in Ho Chi Minh City, I probably wouldn't have put that in there even if I was a professional writer. I'd probably be more Europe and South America based. Lima, Peru. How does seasonality affect culinary vacation destinations? This is incredible information. Thank you, OpenAI. Now I'm going to come down here. I'm going to use versions, and I'm going to do one big question. Now I can leave these in here and I'm just going to hit execute. I should have 3 that are fill in the blanks. So we're waiting for this to refresh. We're going to try to put this in a question format, but sometimes it will do a statement that leads your mind into this must be a question. So you don't see the question mark, but your mind will interpret it as a statement question. Let's go up here and hit refresh. It's like we got one of them. So let's look at one a little bit longer, because now we're not just going to toss these in there. We've got to have an instruction. Think of in terms of the H2s that we're going to have in here. I don't like the word enumerate. Okay, which global destinations are at the top for food lovers vacation? Pretty good title. I would use it. The outline focus. The first paragraph or the first H2 is this. Enumerate the culinary richness and unique food experiences for that France, Italy, Spain, Japan, Mexico. Okay, so that's really the first heading. Okay, and then dive deeper into the dining traditions, famous dishes, and food markets of these countries. Include a long form answer about why these nations. So this really, it's more of an answer, but explain how you're going to answer. Okay, so it's not just taking these, but it's mentioning why these are important ones. Okay, so let's come back up here to refresh. Okay, what makes these cities the top destinations for food tour travelers? Food tour travelers. This right here may be another keyword. So I'm also looking for other keywords that I can use. Discuss why Tokyo, Rome, Lima are renowned for their food tours. Include a separate section on each city. What are the iconic foods from these cities, or how these cities impacted global? What we do on the big question is we give them answers, a broad answer, and then short answers. And then we come down here and give them other questions that they might ask. And it's not the same on every one of them, okay? Discuss other possible destinations is the close on this one. The close on this one is conclusion with other questions that they might have. So you're getting some really different type of content that is based on one big question. If I want to put this over to BulkWriter, I've got BulkWriter running, so I can't add any more. I would choose those 3 and copy to clipboard. Then I would open a notepad, and I'm going to use this as one of my notepads here. Take a note. I'll just put in here the title, ZW. Okay, so I'm just going to copy these. These are ready to go into, and I can fix them while they're in here before they get into BulkWriter. Okay, so, and this is called Keep. It's Google's note taking. I use this on occasion. And now let's go back into AI Masher. I've shown you how we've taken something from the ideas here of working vacations. We went all the way down to the culinary journeys. So I've got a lot of keywords that I can experiment with inside the keyword masher. And I can do a list. I can do a top 10. If you want a ranking, let's see, working vacations, backpack vacations, great hikes around the world. Now I'm going to come over here and one here, and I'm going to do top 10, but I'm going to only do 3. Save us time here. Great hikes around the world. What we're doing with BulkWriter is this is informational intents, okay? I would recommend use the SEO writer to take one of these topics and really develop it out with specifics, and then link across to this listicle or this top 10 list, okay? Or vice versa. You have your top 10 list, link across to an article that you wrote on the SEO writer about Tokyo's food destination. You can use your list to start making individual articles about it. This is what Google looks for on internal linking, pillar posts and content posts. How do they interact together? This gives you the authority of what they're looking for, helpful content. Because while that person's looking at their top 10 list for food destinations, they see Tokyo and go, oh, I want to go to Tokyo. Why? And there's a little link in that list that you've built. It goes across to another article you wrote with Zimmwriter, but you wrote it with the SEO, and it's all about Tokyo's food destination. So you're using one tool to do 2 things. We've got this in here, best hiking regions around the globe. We've got Peru, Tanzania. I wouldn't have top scenic hikes, most popular trekking adventures. We're going to come over here, and this is a top 10. So I'm going to do keywords top 10 and execute. People go to top 10 list for a couple reasons. They want to see if their favorite place is in the top 10. This is clickbait right here, guys. For people that are hikers, they want to know that their hiking places are in the top 10. It's almost a guaranteed click. When you're compared in the Google search, you have a listicle that relates to their informational or search intent. We are getting specific places to go hiking. And in the top 10 list, we're not going to change this. We're just going to give you a really good title, and then we're going to rank them. This is the order that we're ranking. Let's go back up here to refresh. Okay, we got them. Here is top 10 illuminated paths, best hiking regions around the globe. Top 10, I'm going to do walking. I don't like that illuminated. The copywriters got a little too fancy for me. I just want to kind of dumb it down. If you'll notice, we've already ranked it for you, or OpenAI has already ranked it in here. Worldwide wonders, top 10 scenic hiking trails, top 10 most popular trekking adventures globally. These are great titles, and they're already in order. I don't care what the order is. I care that the visitor knows the order, and he may make comments. He may even go, this is interesting information. I didn't know about Costa Rica's Corcova National Park or the Appalachian Trail. Very good information. We're using OpenAI, and we're getting it ready. Again, I would go copy, got those three selected, copy to clipboard selected, and come over here to my notes, and I'm going to come down here and put it in here. Now, a little tip for you. Is cooking destinations related to trekking around the world? No, it's not. It has nothing to do with it. Does Zimmwriter's bulk writer care if you put all 6 of these posts in at the bulk writer? No, it doesn't care. It's going to process, and that's the beauty about this title prompting. We're giving it a specific title and specific prompts to drive it. And it's focused around building a great article about top 10 most popular trekking. And then when it gets to this one here, it's building around global destinations, top for food lovers. Completely different types of articles, but where we use our specific author, Gordon Ramsay may not know about the top 10 trekking adventures. You may not want a specific author whenever you're doing bulk writer with different topics, okay? Use your auto author. You still want short answers. You still want frequently asked questions. You probably want the setup the same. When it comes out to Zimmwriter output, you would have to know, do these 3 posts to your cooking show, and these 3 articles go into your hiking site. You can run a mix of all these articles and run them all at night. You know, this is how we get our 100. 100 is not going to go in one website immediately. You want to drip feed them also. It's if you have 100 articles about hiking and they're all top 10 lists, please don't send them all at once. Google's going to know you're AI spamming, and that word is already being tossed around, okay? That's the people doing 1,000, and they don't care what the content is. They just know they can write 1,000 with OpenAI through one of the tools and post 1,000 articles straight into a WordPress site. That's spamming. And we don't want to do that. We want very specific questions. But what I do is these top 10 lists, I don't want them every day. I want them every 7 days or every 3 days. But I want to mix in listicles. I want to mix in how-tos. I want to mix in one big questions. So I've got a whole set of things going into WordPress at different times, different parts of the day, but they're not all top 10 lists, okay? You might want to have Ogilvy questions, which is more the traditional, where you have a really good title and then you want some subtopics defining the title. And you may want them every hour, every 3 hours, or whatever, but you want to mix them, okay? Keep that in mind. Wayne, any questions before we jump out of this? We've kind of addressed, this is the easiest way to make them is with our title prompting through AI search. When you're cranked up and you're doing 10 top 10 lists and you just change the topic right here, it will reset this and it will keep adding to this. Now on Keyword Masher, I think we keep this alive for 24 hours. So after 24 hours, we wipe the whiteboard off and you're ready for new. But if you want to just get rid of them, come down here, delete all. Let me show you a couple other things. The thing here is we've got niche discovery, and we talked about culinary vacations. We talked about audience niche discovery. And you kind of see, you choose 5, 10, 20. But what do you sell? What type of products can you put on this site once you built it? So we added something. We let OpenAI kind of give us some ideas about culinary vacation. I have no idea what to sell on this. Maybe something in Amazon, maybe there's some affiliate products. We don't tell you specifically where to get them, but we're going to give you ideas and kind of what they cost. Italian cooking vacations, great. Wine tasting tours in France. So you could do an article. You can go into your SEO writer and do wine tasting tours in France. Okay, do a very specific article and find you a travel service that has an affiliate. Put them in that blog post. $2,500 is probably a starting price for wine tasting tours in France. But now you have very specific affiliate related blog posts that you're doing as kind of like guest post, but you're pointing the customer to a wine tasting tour. You're using Zimmwriter to write the article, and you put an affiliate link in there. So we're giving you some ideas. Sushi making courses in Japan. These are titles that you would use in Zimmwriter. You could run them back through BulkWriter, but I want to do a really good job because I want at the end of that SEO article, I want them to go, I really need to go to Argentina to learn barbecue. And how do I do it? Next step, purchase. Next step is transactional. Okay. Cut them out from doing transactional searches. Let them click straight into your affiliate to Argentina barbecue. That is hot selling products. But let's take it one step further. Culinary vacations. I don't have a website. What do I do? Well, we're going to help you out. Domain name generator in English. And I'm just going to come over here. Let's just set this to 5. We're going to generate some domain names that are .coms just to give you some ideas. Let's go out. Let's go out to 20. Okay. Some of these are really good. Cuisine Voyage. I wonder if it's available. As that's generating, there it is. I'm going to go ahead and copy all those. I don't know if any of these are available. I've got a Namecheap account. GoDaddy does this too. Let's go over to Namecheap. I'm not even going to log in. I'm just going to go beast mode. And I'm going to put all these in here and generate. Right now, I just gave them 20 domain names that we generated with the domain name discovery. And I'm looking for ones that I can build a WordPress website. All the ones that say 1028 a year, those are all available. Bistro Journey, Recipes Rome, the Epicure, Chef's Getaway. We're walking you step by step through here on get you a domain name. What are you selling? What affiliate products can you do? How do you bulk write all this? And pretty easy to do. Guys, some of these are really good. Bistro Journey, I love that name. Recipes Rome. So I may have to come back later and buy a few of these. And when I buy a few of these, put it onto WordPress. I'll give you the exact steps. Put it on WordPress on a hosting. Go back in, get your title prompts. Bistro Journey. We know we're doing a culinary vacation. Over here on Keyword Masher, I'm building out the listicles, the top 10s, just stacking a whole bunch of articles based on these types of lists, these keyword clusters. And then I'm going to auto post them into the WordPress site. And then I'm going to come back through keyword discovery, through niche ideas, niche discovery. And then I'm going to go, what pillar posts do I need? What content or affiliate offers do I want to promote? I'll put them right here. Now I have those articles. So I could create 100 bulk writer articles, and maybe I'm doing 30 or 40 affiliate articles, and I haven't really written anything. Ideally, I want to review and edit and get good pictures in there and all that good stuff. Speed wins all the time, guys. This is why we set this up. It is better to have really good quality with some images in there than the perfect article every single time. I'm not concerned about the perfect article every single time because it's going to take way too long to do that. I could go to Zimmwriter, go to NeuroWriter, or go up to Surfer, tune it up, make it all look pretty and all that, and then do that one article across. Meanwhile, the guys that we're training, they just built a website in a couple of days that is ready to start sending affiliate. Now they can work on the most important part is traffic. How do you get traffic to these sites? Okay. You've got some really good content in there. So let's wrap this thing up. Matt, do you have any questions before we end this?
No, I think kind of opened my eyes a little bit to what your tool does. I think it's pretty cool. I think you did a really solid demonstration of it. There's probably a lot of stuff you haven't explained too. A lot of deep dives you could probably do. I think you got something kind of cool there.
Well, thank you. And guys, we've got full training on this, but we also create these workflow outlines. I've got this open to the public. It's aimaster.com/workflow outlines. And if you want, you can just come in here to Keyword Master. And so I've got a summary, kind of the title prompt maker. What is Keyword Master? 3 input methods, videos here. And then we have workflow guides. Here's the Ogilvy title. Here's creating listicle. Step by step, go into AI Master. Click that button. Put your input in there. Put your title in there. Get your keywords. And as you can see, I'm stepping you through step by step because there's some people that don't want to listen to me on the video. No problem. I'll give you a step-by-step guide. I'll keep quiet. Paste in Zimmwriter. Easy content creation. Challenge completed. So you can get a little GIF, a little surprise at the end. And then you can download the PDF or you can watch the video right here. And I say watch the video. It's me talking, walking through this. Okay. So we're trying to give you step-by-step guides. I don't want anybody to say, well, I just don't know how to use it. I bought it. I just don't know how to use it. Well, we're going to help you with that. Let's go back to final presentation. So we've done keyword clusters. We've done listicles. This is what you're making, okay? We did the demo. So let's talk about what you get. You get the keyword clusters. You get the title prompting, niche discovery, domain name generated. We've got a special that we're going to do this just for the Zimmwriter guys. You type in Keyword Master, and it's $97. It's a lifetime deal. When we launch AI Master, this is going to go to $197, and that's in a couple weeks. It's a very simple process. Keyword Master, you get your niche ideas, you can do domain discovery. We built this to be a perfect matchup to Zimmwriter. The things that you need to get Zimmwriter to give you back, that is informational intent and transactional intent with your SEO content. And again, just hit add to cart, you're ready to go. Do you have a money back guarantee? Absolutely. We're going to give you 7 days. If you don't like it, just let us know. We'll give you back $97. I hope that you use it. We use our tools. That's why we build them, is we build them for us, and very easy to do. And so that's kind of the show right there. If you don't have Zimmwriter, I don't know why you wouldn't have Zimmwriter, but please go in and buy Zimmwriter. It is the most affordable AI writing tool out there. And if you have Zimmwriter and you want to do title prompting for the bulk writer, we got a good option for you. You can do this all manually if you want to do that, but Wayne and I are kind of lazy. Any questions that we can answer at this point?
There was one about sub-keywords. Are they the same as entities?
The way that we define this is, I'll come back up here, is we do keyword clusters around topics, subtopics. So is a subtopic a sub-keyword? I'm going to go in and see if I've got it, have it up here. That gives you something very similar to what Surfer does. If I brought up keto diet, if I typed in keto diet, this is what I would get from keto diet plan, ketogenic diet menu, diet daily menu, keto diet program. Okay. These are not answers to a question. They're keywords that we need to include in the content. Okay. Matt answers that in his bulk writer. He gives you a little toggle that puts in SEO keywords. This is not what I want to do a list around. I could do each one of these manually. I could do keto diet for diabetics. That's probably a good one to do. But I use this to have some ideas about what to put in there. And I mentioned Surfer. Surfer has some really good tools and we use them, but we're building pillar posts to reference articles, and we backlink our pillar posts back into the bulk writer articles that we're putting in. Keywords backlink strategies. What is domain authority? Very good question. This is what I would write a pillar post on, okay? But if I tried to put it in as a listicle, let's just open this up. What is domain authority, domain rankings? What is the good? These are too tight around to put them in an outline format in bulk writer to do anything but an article about this specific topic, okay? This is maybe what you might want to put in if you're doing like just the Ogilvy method. I guess you could manually put them in like this. It doesn't answer any questions. It's not a top 10 list. It's not a listicle cluster or anything like that. So that's kind of what I want to show you on this is NLP clusters. What we're doing is topic clusters. Okay. Wayne, anything else?
The one thing it's been asked as well, but I'll just mention that you do need to put your OpenAI API key in.
Yes. Yeah. That's the only thing that you'll have to put in. And you'll just go down to integrations, OpenAI, and that's where you'll put it. You'll just hit add and put your OpenAI. It's going to be the same API key that you're using inside of Zimmwriter. Okay. And you want all the Zimmwriter guys to use this tool if you're using the bulk writer. It's a natural extension. It's the left hand handing the right hand something. We've been working with Matt to get this so that the content works for us. And that's the thing that you got to keep in mind is, are these developers, and Matt, I know, is using his own product. We use our own products. We use Matt's products. So we're not building products just to be building products and selling. We're building products because we use them to do our own content, our own auto blogging.
For those of you that have purchased, you'll see a screen that says we'll be reaching out shortly. But what that really means is you'll be getting emails with a link for you to create an account.
Yep.
It's all automated for you.
Yep. What I tell everybody is have fun with this. OpenAI is smart. We've trained the prompts to be good copywriters, but you may get some content in there that you really, you saw me change. I don't like the word gastronomical. It makes me think of an inside of a stomach. I'd rather use another word. You can change it at this point or change it when you put it into the bulk writer, change the words around. You may want to make it your own style. So hopefully we've answered all the questions. Matt, do you have any conclusions that we can all learn from?
No, just keep learning, keep growing, keep experimenting and keep learning. And that's something the competition doesn't do,
And you're going to have your own flavor, your own style on the bulk writer, on the toggles that you use. And what I would encourage you, try different things. Try the different toggles, try the different settings, instead of caregiver, use Explore. And you're going to get a little bit different flavors. And I have more fun just seeing the results of what's coming out. I'm like, this is really fun. Guys, thank you for joining us on the call today. We really appreciate it. Matt, thank you very, very much for, one, is joining us on the call, but second is you were doing such an incredible job on not only development, but answering people's questions on the Facebook group and really developing the community beyond what anybody else is doing. And we appreciate it. I know everybody on the call appreciates it too. So thank you very, very much.
Yeah, well, thank you. No problem. Thank you for everything you guys do.
Thank you very much. We're going to have this recorded and it will be up on YouTube probably within, 3 or 4 hours. We'll see you on another call. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.